Third factor you have to understand is the country where you are residing. For example, one client in Japan was really struggling to get a recommendation letter. So eventually I asked him what was happening. So I got really restless and I asked him, like, why are you taking so much time to even start a communication? It is not even sending a guideline document and asking the supervisor to write. The person couldn't even go to that supervisor and request for a recommendation letter. So later I understood that the culture discourages going to an MBA program. So if you are in any country where the number one revenue, number one export is manufacturing, then it will be a tricky conversation because you want to get out of that technical role and get into management or a leadership role. And the supervisor not just will be surprised, they will be kind of insulted because you're going against the culture of the country. So it's much more insulting when you go against the culture of the country compared to going against the culture of the company. So you have to be very careful. And when I worked with a client from Japan, eventually I couldn't get that recommendation letter from the current supervisor. It was too risky for that person. The person would have lost his job. So I had to go with a team lead in a different country. But that person had a different perspective about MBA program because the person was surrounded by MBA. So he saw the impact of what an MBA program can do to that function. So he was very enthusiastic in his recommendation letter. The phrasing were very interesting but unique. If the culture doesn't value an MBA program, it doesn't make sense to go to your current supervisor and ask for a recommendation letter. For help with managing the entire MBA application recommendation letters, subscribe to FNGMAT's One School MBA recommendation letter editing service at store.fngmat.com/recommendation-letter. If you need help just with one supervisor, subscribe to FNGMAT's One Supervisor recommendation letter editing service at store.fngmat.com/one-recommendation-letter.